Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. If it is your first time watching, this is Balisama Tabela, and it's a great honor to have you in my channel. So, today I will be starting a series called Navigating Your Relationship with God. You know, and it will come with so many episodes because of I think it's something that I am passionately wanting to share more about because simply because of in the spaces of church and in all spaces of faith, I think it is very limited, in terms of really speaking about your relationship with God. Yes, we are encouraged to have a relationship with God, but what happens when that relationship is lacking, or you're thinking you're doing something that God doesn't want? How do you go back to God? And also, what happens if ever you feel like God is not fulfilling the promises that He has made to you? So I'll be sharing my life, and in terms of what is happening currently with my relationship with God, and hoping that with all that I would share would give insights in terms of how you also navigate your relationship with God. I'm not an expert. I am navigating my relationship with God, and in me doing that and having trial and errors, I hope that we find some sense of relating and also of learning through this space. So, yeah. One thing that I wanted to start with, is that I think now it's introduction of what is happening and also the episode 1. So as you know, guys, I am going to therapy, and as I'm working on myself, um it's becoming a huge impact in terms of my relationship with God, in terms of how I relate with God, because of learning, stuff from there. And also just in life, generally, I believe that the more you experience life is the more it will change your relationship with God, and how He approaches you, and how He would love you. Quick scenario is that um just recently, I think last week Thursday, I was supposed to go to therapy, to my psychologist, and there was just a situation that made me not to be able to go. And now I was frustrated because you kind of look forward to it. You kind of look forward to say, I'm gonna tell her this and this and this and that, um and now it's not happening, and also, but then at the same time, I was looking for something soothing. My other mind was just saying, I just hope that we don't dwell on heavy things, because it's kind of tiring, and also it's something that I was not looking forward to. And now I am stuck with this idea. Okay, that didn't happen. I'm disappointed now, and now I'm kind of avoiding, speaking with God, simply because of um, I just feel like, what am I gonna say? Because I'm very honest with sorry for the noise if you're hearing it. I'm very honest with my relationship with God, in terms of how I feel. But because I'm looking for this soothing, of let's just change scenario and speak about something that is nice or positive, because of I just don't want to really dwell in the pain and healing, because it's also gets to be draining if you do it repeatedly without having a structure. That's why there are coping mechanisms and so on. So um so then God was just like to me, you can come to me and talk about what you want to talk about, and I can meet you like where where you want me to, we don't really have to be deep. And I was just like, oh, okay. So God can relate to you in terms of where you want, and simply because of your putting in the work. I'll explain why I'm saying that. Because imagine if ever I didn't know what soothing is, you know um so I really also thinking in my mind that maybe there are people who don't understand what it is. So for instance, I'll make an example. Let's say I have a pain in my in this area, and I constantly rub on it, instead of maybe being hard on it. That's soothing. There's pain, you're acknowledging that there's pain, but you're soothing it, and then with time it will heal. um for instance, would also be, you are maybe a parent reprimanding your child, and then you also trying to make them understand that you're not angry at them, but you're angry at what they're doing, and say, but don't do that, then come, let me give you a hug, something like that. That is soothing. And because of, for the longest of time and how I grew up, um, I didn't experience that, in terms of childhood and so on. Um, I also kind of thought that that is how my relationship with God will be, simply because of, he's also a parent. Yes, he can be a friend, a provider, and whatever, but he's my father, you know. And but God was just like, I can do that too. Imagine if ever I didn't know what that is, and God was just like, you know what, you're a great person, you're doing this and this and that. And in the midst of pain, I just feel like, God is not being real. But because of, I took time to learn and discover things in my healing journey, and understand what this is, then God can now fully operate, or rather fully love me in the way that I need to be loved. So it was just a thing in my mind to say, okay, the more I do in the work, is the more God is able to love me the way I want to. And that also comes with discovering yourself, and so on. I'll make an example. Um, I think for the longest of time, I didn't know that I love, words of affirmation, simply because of, it is just not a thing, in the space that I grew up in. And um and it not being a thing, I just thought that um, it kind of makes you, I don't know, man. It's just something that I was not used to. But when I got an experience of that, then God was able to love me in that way, to start affirming me, you know. But if ever I didn't learn that, then it would be strange if He's doing it. So all I'm trying to say here, guys, is that the more you put in the work, and the more you discover, learn and unlearn what you love, how you want to be loved, God is able to do that with you in your secret space and in your relationship. And yeah, I just hope this relates to you guys. As I said, this series is all about relatability, if there's such a word, being relatable, also learning, in the midst of that. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Comment. I really love the comment section. I think it really popped out with the dating series. If you haven't watched it, please do so. I love engaging in the comment section. So feel free to comment, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, to share my videos with your loved ones, with people that you think need it, and people that would you think that would be interested in the type of content that I share. Yeah, thank you guys.